Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Look, man, Ennis has a big fight this weekend. I'm surprised to see people aren't giving Stanley Ennis the credit and respect he deserves as an Olympian, as a champion, and just overall as a very tough, durable, badass fighter. But I do agree that Boots should be the favorite, and I fully expect him to win the fight. But I just want to tell people I think they're going to be disappointed after he wins this fight. For everyone who's expecting Jaron to maybe go fight Virgil Ortiz or Eddie Hearn to want to come now and have Jaron fight some difficult fight and maybe go to 160 because Jaron Boots Ennis is a big boy and could probably fight at 160 if you listen to him and his dad. But you got to understand, Anthony Joshua, that's what's on Eddie Hearn's brain. He sees in Jaron Ennis what we all see, someone who passes the eye test, an exceptional talent based on the level of competition he's faced. But Eddie Hearn is going to be the one who slows this Jaron Boots Ennis vehicle down. He's not going to go through what he went through with Anthony Joshua. Won't make the AJ mistake. You got to understand, Anthony Joshua, Jaron Boots Ennis, Eddie Hearn watching, you can see, I can only imagine him sitting back watching AJ and watching Jaron and saying, okay, I've got something here, just like I had in AJ. And you saw how AJ was out here tranquilizing people and looking like invincible. And then when AJ got in there with somebody who really fought him back, shit didn't go the way they wanted. He almost got the wake-up call when he fought Dillian White in that first fight. Anyway, you look at Jaron Boots Ennis. He's out here looking invincible. What's going to happen when he gets somebody who's going to fight him back? Who's got some pop, who's got some speed, who's got a chin, and who's like, I'm not losing tonight. And I'm telling you, even if he gets through Hellenius, Eddie Hearn is going to be walking on eggshells. Now, look, as fans, we want to see, look, I get it. People have their favorite fighters. Me personally, I don't give a shit. I don't have a favorite fighter. But even you as the fan of that fighter should want the best for the fighter in the fighter's career. You don't just take a fighter and put him into Mission Impossible Tom Cruise type fights. Back to back to back to back to back. What can happen, right, is you go from having a bit of a fracture to a clean break in the career. A fracture, often there's no sign of injury. You can kind of rebound from a fracture. But when there's a clean break, more times than not, never heals properly. There's always sign of injury, forever. And that's what Eddie Hearn doesn't want. You look at Anthony Joshua. There was no fracture. There were several clean breaks to that man's career. And till this day, when you watch him, you can see the signs, the indicators are there of previous injury. The damn Andy Ruiz, Dillian White first, then the sparring stories, Joe Joyce and Dubois in sparring, then Andy Ruiz, and then him getting in there with Usyk, and then Dubois when they actually had a fight. So Anthony Joshua will forever be on Eddie Hearn's mind, and he can't help but think about AJ when he looks at a guy like Jaron Ennis, who's out here, who's captivated the minds of the boxing world. So we'll see what's next. I hear people saying that Barrios doesn't stand a chance against Jaron. I hear some people saying that Norman Jr. wouldn't stand a chance against Jaron. I'll say this. This is boxing. The best fighter doesn't win. Okay, it's the fighter who boxes the best on that night. And any fighter who gets in there against a favorite, there's a chance they could have the Buster Douglas moment and shock the world. So y'all need to hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Because I'm telling you right now, one person who's not going to take it to the stupid anymore and try to just keep pushing and pushing their guys, it's Eddie Hearn. He's not going to do it. Big opportunity, big money, probably go for it. But other than that, it's got to make sense to him. You know, you got to listen to what Eddie Hearn says. You see, Turki Al-Sheikh isn't just putting up money anymore. Eddie Hearn's about his money. So especially if he doesn't have to take any risk, he doesn't have to give the fighter to Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh puts up the millions. Eddie Hearn's like, whatever. I get paid. This guy fights. I just have to sit here and manage a little bit. Cool. But there's no real there's no financial impact to my company. But when he hasn't put his own money up, he needs a return on that investment. The ROI is what's on his brain. So y'all need to keep that in mind when y'all sitting here saying Jaron's he's going to fight Murtaza Aliyev. He's going to fight Virgil Ortiz after this. He doesn't need 147. Oh, he's struggling. He's dying to make weight. Jaron told you he has a nutritionist, a dietitian. He's making 147 easy. He not leaving 147. But for those of you saying, it may be a big opportunity, may dangle a carrot in front of him. He's going to jump. Even if he jumps, Eddie Hearn's going to be like, man, get your ass back down here. What are you doing jumping for that carrot? Can't afford for you to lose. And that's exactly what you're going to see. Eddie Hearn protecting him. But even if he did want to go to 154, let's be real. Who's he going to fight? He going to bubble up and fight who? What champion at 154 is Jaron going to fight? Okay? And then for those of you saying at 160, okay. You're going to go fight somebody at 160 now. Alam Kanuli, right? If you listen to some of you fans, yeah, you'll take Jaron, just throw him in there with Alam Kanuli. Okay. And then for the ones out there who just really have a warped brain, Jaron can fight Canelo. Or throw him up there with Billy. Yeah, he can beat Billy. We won't know until they fight, but I have to side with the fans who are saying, probably shouldn't make that move. You just got to be realistic about this, man, and stop with all this this fanboy bullshit, man, and taking it to the stupid. You know what I mean? And for those of you who disagree when you hear somebody saying all this shit, don't be a bandwagonist and go for the ride. No, you got to jump off and be like, nah, y'all crazy. Anyway, Jaron passes the eye test. We're going to see if he passes what I consider a real test this weekend. But believe you me, Eddie Hearn ain't going to make the AJ mistake and take what he has as a potential superstar in the sport of boxing, a potential pay-per-view phenom, and ruin the chances of seeing him climb that ladder of success because Eddie Hearn fast-tracks him. And I know he has over 30 fights, but who's he fought? Okay? So just keep that in mind. And remember, these guys are great, but they ain't special. Like Mayweather, like De La Hoya, like Trinidad, like Mosley. They ain't that kind of special. So let's just keep it 100% real. I'm in the breeze.